We are coast to coast today. Worldwide, you are dialed into The Good Life. We broadcast all over North America. One of our broadcast partners is CBS out of New York. Today, Kimberly Lamontagne is my guest.
Actually, it's Kimberly Lamontagne. Before I sample some of my work, including excerpts from interviews with a high-profile Oscar nominee, a notorious Canadian entrepreneur whose motto is, "Life is short, have an affair," and the story of a shocking encounter between a cab driver and the woman who nearly cost him his life and his night's earnings. Let's get back to that interview I did with Jesse Dillon on his show, The Good Life.
Welcome to The Good Life. Health, fitness, nutrition, and vital living. Here's your host, Jesse Dillon.
Wow, that's a great question. That's a very good question. That's a great question. It's a very good... You're doing a great job, by the way, I must say. You're doing a really good job.
Asking good questions is what I'll do for you. Ren Klyce is a 3-time Oscar-nominated sound designer from California, and he's one of the people responsible for putting the soundtrack of many of Hollywood's hottest films together. Movies like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, The Social Network, Fight Club, Seven, and many, many more. He dished some dirt in what became a battle of the directors when I spoke to him at the Banff Center.
Spike Jonze can take any situation, no matter how dire, and turn it around into something where people are willing to do anything for him at all costs. And he's completely the antithesis of David Fincher, who is a craftsman of the highest degree. And his films are meticulous. David Fincher's films are constructed in such a way that my friend Angus Wall, who's his picture editor, described it best. He said, putting a David Fincher movie together is like putting together a Swiss watch, where David gives you all the perfect pieces and you construct it, and it's perfect. And Spike is not that at all. Spike is very spontaneous, and he goes with his heart. And so his photography, it's not consistent. The eye line is wrong. The screen direction, he'd be mad at me if I said this, but, is not maybe as concise as David Fincher's is. But he has something that he brings to his films that is unique, which is this energy to his films.
On my morning show. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on Sunny Side Up with Adam and Kim. Our guest Noel Biderman was featured on The View, CNN, and Dr. Phil. His business venture was highlighted on Howard Stern, Sports Illustrated, Time Magazine, and the list goes on. What did the celebrated Canadian do? He found a niche in the market and created a website for married people to connect with other married people, to have an affair.
20 million Americans, 2.4 million Canadians are in sexless marriages. They didn't sign up for that.
Do you believe monogamy will vanish?
100%. Listen, the institution of marriage has always evolved. It was once a polygamous institution where it was only recently we decided to marry for love and therefore attach monogamy to it. But it's just there isn't one way to live your life is what our whole company is about. It's a lifestyle media company. So if you want to date older women,
what
if you
about
want to date
your lifestyle
men,
though? You've been married for 7 years now. Do you think monogamy will vanish in your relationship? Do you ever think you'll sign up to AshleyMadison.com?
I'm positive of one thing, that I didn't sign up for a sexless marriage. It was important for me when I built the service to make sure that women were going to also utilize it and felt comfortable there. So everything I did, from the design to the branding, had that in mind. And so women were naming their children Ashley and Madison. They had some kind of affinity for that branding. I was trying to create a persona. NoelBiderman.com didn't sound like it was going to work to me. And so Ashley Madison was that persona. And so if I had named it June Cleaver, would that be better? I don't know. I just chose branding that women found these names to be popular. I don't see it as anything other than smart business practice.
I have to agree. I have to commend you on that. It's very effective. I actually thought it was like a clothing company like Alice and Olivia when I first heard about it. And I know you get some beef about your ads, but I think that they're great. I think it's effective marketing. And like you said, infidelity has been around forever, and your ads aren't going to provoke anyone to cheat. The people who are going to visit your site have already made that decision.
Yeah, no, that's important for people to understand it.
Do you stop and think of your personal safety when stepping into a cab? Maybe you're thinking about where you're heading. But what about the safety of the person driving you? Abraham Misson, a veteran cab driver, nearly died 6 months ago.
June the 22nd, around 11:30, I pick a lady, and I see her, she's a little bit nervous, and she just tells me to stop, and I stop, and the minute I start to look, I turn my head and back up, and then the gun was under my head, and I heard that like that, and I jumped to hold it. and I didn't know that she had a knife on the right-hand side.
After stabbing Masun repeatedly, the woman demanded he hand over his night's earnings.
Then I see spray of blood come to my hand. Then when I look back to my body, and there was so many blood on it.
Masun was in a coma for 3 days. He now spends 4 days a week doing physiotherapy. Installing GPS systems in taxicabs is a good incentive, but it won't prevent incidents like Masun's from happening in the future.
GPS or panic button is the least could be protected. GPS is only when you argue and when you know that you're in trouble, then you push the button panic and then somebody will come. But
Masun thinks the best solution would be a barrier separating driver and client.
instead, the best and foremost is to be window divided.
I called Atlas Taxi Company, where Masun works, to ask if they will install GPS systems in their cars.
Money, we're a small company.
But doesn't the safety of your drivers matter?
You know what? Let me just, let you talk to the boss another time, okay? Because I see this is going aggressive on the negative side, okay?
Masun continues to see a psychologist once a week in the hopes of making a full recovery.
Even at night, I can see the image. Sometimes she comes to stop me. Sometimes, even a person who look like her, I don't feel like let them come to my car.
With 20 years on the job, Masun says a near-death experience won't stop him from driving. I tried calling the manager of Atlas Taxi the next day, and he was still unavailable for comment. That piece was put together at Concordia University. It's your Time Saver Traffic, looking at outbound traffic, typical slow spots on the main highway. As for traffic along the rest of the major area highways, you may encounter some delays heading into town due to a stall in the left lane. For more info and features, go to youtube.com/Kimberly Lamontagne. And now your weather forecast. Going down to -6 overnight, a high of 3 for tomorrow with sunny periods. And you're going to want to get that umbrella out. Rain in the forecast for Thursday and Friday with a high of 7 and 10. On that note, here's a song that's sure to brighten your day. From 1961's The Parent Trap, here's Let's Get Together.
Let's get together, yeah, yeah, yeah. Why don't you and I combine? Let's get together, what do you say? We could have a swinging time. We'd be a crazy team. Why don't we make the scene together? Oh,
I'm Kimberly Lamontagne. Your next update is coming up when I have the opportunity to show you my work and meet you in person. Until then, you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn. Thanks for listening. I'm Kimberly Lamontagne.
we could be sharing all we got together. Oh, I really think you're swell. We really ring the bell. Ooh-wee. And if you stick with me, nothing could be greater. Say, hey, alligator, let's get together. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just like spice and fun. Let's get together right away. We'll be having twice the fun. And you can all